Hello, good morning everyone. It is Peter here from Strong Healthy Women. I have been thinking a little bit about the slippery slope. So one of the things that I love doing personally is going to the park with grandkids. And so it doesn't matter what's there, I want to have a crack at it. What it actually does for me is it reminds me of my childhood. I used to love being outside, getting on the swings, climbing trees, all those sorts of things. And so I really do love a good park. I particularly love a good swing. And I also love that feeling of when you're going down a slide, it's scary, particularly when it's a big one or it's a windy one, and it's scary and you go, ah! But you get to the end and you feel like the adrenaline rush and the excitement of it. But I was thinking about it because I noticed like my grandkids go up the slope, so they start walking up. And I went, I used to do that too. And so let me have a crack at it. Let me have a go. And so, and it really got me thinking about this slippery slope, So I'm going up the slippery dip the wrong way, and I'm, using the sides to climb up. But particularly, I was watching the kids because they'd left their socks on, and so they were slipping and sliding all over the place, going back down and, laughing and just having a great time. And it really got me thinking about noticing the little things in life that may not be obvious to us right now, or we could be starting to notice them and we're thinking about it going, hang on a minute, something's changing here. And one of the observations that I realized about myself was when I got up to go to the bathroom of a night time, I was all of a sudden, I was starting to put my hand down and lowering myself down. And yet I could feel that the seat was there. I knew it was there. So I got to thinking, oh goodness, am I on that slippery slope? Am I starting to use my hands to lower myself down? And then I realised that we've got this really, really low couch out in our walkway area where we take off our shoes and whatnot. And the other day, I did it again. I used my hand and I went, oh no, I'm getting into the habit of using my hands to lower myself down when it's lower or when I'm unsure of something. And yet I'm totally sure of it. I know that I've got strong core muscles. I know that I can use these muscles, but I'm starting to create this habit that will eventually lead me into the stage, if I don't do something, if I don't nip it in the bud now, then what's going to happen is, come years, I'm going to be pushing myself up out of this chair, this one that's at the right height. And I went, I need to stop that. I need to take a pause. I need to slow myself down. And I really need to be more conscious in that particular thing of putting my hand down. And so I'm wondering if you're noticing little things like that as well, where something, you're starting to decline maybe in the way you're doing something. And I noticed it with my walking as well too. You start to slow down, and I really have to engage to think about keeping myself at that same pace that I was at when I was in my 50s, as an example, or when I was in my 40s. And so, and it is a natural thing that happens as we age. We start to slow down and we start to sometimes not notice it. And so that's what I want to talk about, this slippery slope that we can get on. And then we start to create this habit of doing things easier than just challenging ourselves that little bit to keep that momentum that we had, to keep that strength that we had, or the flexibility or the balance. And so it's really, really important to take the pause and to think about just where we're at. Are we sliding all over that slippery slope and not really paying attention? So today, what I want you to do is to just take a moment as you're doing things around your house or at work and really start to question, have you ended up on that slippery slope and are starting to make things easier and starting to slow down and allowing this thing we call age to catch up on us? Because I don't know about you, but I don't want it to catch up. I want to keep pushing back as much as I possibly can, because I've got all these things that I want to do, and I'm sure you do too. And so it means that we want to be strong, flexible, we want to have the balance, and all of those things require us to be that little bit more conscious about what we're doing. And you will notice it in everyday life. So I'll talk more about that as the weeks go on. But today I just wanted to introduce to you this concept of paying attention and thinking about whether you are starting to slow down that little bit, whether you are on that slippery slope. Now, recently, if you've been tuning in the past, you would know this, but recently we had two grandkids come to live with us, little ones, right? So tiny little ones, 4 and 5. And so there was this observation, and it was facts, because I've got my wearable on here, that when I was looking after these kids, the steps that I would take, so the kilometres that I would move, were at least 10,000, if not more, every single day. And so it really made me conscious of the fact that we move more when we have kids around. It's just the natural thing that we do. You know, we're getting them ready for school, you know, we're getting breakfast, we're cooking meals, we're cleaning up, you know, bath time, you know, and it's up and down the hallway, you know, there's a little bit more washing that we're doing. And so, you know, it means that we're moving more. And so the natural thing that happens is that we are moving less and we're slowing down as we age. And so it's really, really important that we do take that moment to think about, am I slowing down? What am I noticing in my body? What is it that I can start to do to improve that? So for me personally, you know, putting my hand down over night time, I stopped that. Like the minute I noticed it, I went, okay. And I slow myself down of a night time when I get up to go to the bathroom, to make sure that that I'm taking those even steps, and that when I sit down, I'm actually sitting on the toilet, that I'm not falling off of it, but I'm not using my hand to do it, because it was becoming part of a habit for me. And it meant that I wasn't using the core muscles that I'm working on to keep me strong. And so it was really, really important that I did that. So, and it made me think about the moment that you notice things. And just recently, I started to ask the ladies in our Fitflex community, you know, when they notice things. So what's the moment? What was the moment that they started exercising? What was the moment that they knew that they needed to do something? And so in some of the cases, there were really powerful reasons behind it. And that reason for two of the gorgeous ladies who come to our 6 a.m. session, Kay and Robin, revolved around their mum, and it got me thinking about my mum as well. So one of the things that happened for me as a young person was that I lived with my grandparents and my mum because my dad had gone, and and so mum would go to work and I'd be home with grandparents, you know. Woo, yoo-hoo, that was great. and but what happened was I developed this really close, strong bond with my grandparents. And so I remember, you know, my grandmother losing her toe because of a complication. She actually scratched her toe with her long fingernails, and she had diabetes, and it got infected. And what ended up happening was she lost a leg, and eventually, look, she lost her life to a complication from diabetes. And I saw this happening with my mum at a young age as well too. So she has these preventable health diseases that my mum has. And you know, there must have been this trigger in my head at 11, and I know that there was because I'm writing about this in my book. That I went, okay, I need to actually do something. I need to start changing my life. And it was nothing conscious. It was just this thing that started happening for me. And so I don't want to have those diseases if I can help it. And because they are a lot around lifestyle, and I have changed my lifestyle quite a bit, you know, I'm pushing them back, and I've pushed them back for 30 years if I compare it to, you know, my grandmother or my mum. And so, you know, it's a very big, sometimes it can be a very big motivating factor for us when we look at our mum or our dad and whoever we take after, and we have that realization that if we keep doing the same thing, that what will happen is that we will end up in the same boat as they are. And I know for Kay, she works out because she wants to be strong, because she doesn't want to be frail. And for Robin, she wants to stay healthy and she wants to stay mobile. And so that means strength and flexibility for her. And for Fiona, for her, it's being able to improve her balance because she was starting to find that she was a little bit off balance when she was getting out of a car. And so it comes back to that, you know, noticing the little things that are changing for us and really, really paying attention, because we don't want to get on that slippery slope where if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to end up where we don't want to be. We want to end up where we want to be. And for you, I can only imagine that it's being healthy, that it's being strong, that it's being happy. Because for the hundreds of women that I've worked with over the years, they all say the same thing. You know, I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, I want to live my life my way. And it's the live my life my way that's really important. You know, what is important to you? Why do you want to live your life the way you want to live it? Is it to play with grandkids? Is it to travel? You know, is it to keep doing your favourite sport like playing tennis or golf, you know, into your 90s? There could be a variety of different reasons, but when you can tap into those reasons, you're more likely to actually do something about it, and you're more likely to pay attention to staying off the slippery slope and actually finding the exhilaration of sliding down perfectly in control. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. Let me know what you think. Are you noticing those little things? And if so, what are they? Post below, let me know. I'm here if you want to chat about something, just organize a little call. I'll put up a link so you can book a call with me if you'd like. All right, so that's it for me. Over and out. Have a fantastic day today and happy Monday. Think about just where you are and where you want to be. Take care, everyone. See you soon.